What is going on, everyone? My name is Adam Allard with Pragmatic Ways, and today I want to talk to you guys about the difference between passing variables by value and passing variables by reference. Alright, so I want to make this a real quick, short, and simple video here. Alright, so I'm just going to be doing this on an online compiler called cpp.sh, and this is going to allow you to run C++ code right inside your browser. Alright. So they give you this boilerplate code. I'm just going to go ahead and delete all that. I don't need to include string, and I only need this example program comment. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a function that's going to be passing by value. So pass by value. All right, and it's going to return nothing, so void, and it's going to be called 1 year older, and it's going to accept an integer called age. And the idea behind this function is that I'm going to call it on my birthday, because what happens on your birthday, you get 1 year older. So I'm just going to increment the age variable, and then I'm going to output to the console what that variable is. This age var cannot type is age. All right, and then I'll close out function out. And now inside the main program, I'm going to create another variable, and this is going to actually store my age. Alright, so I'm going to set that to equal 25, and then I'm going to output to the console what that variable is. I cannot type while talking. You are my age, years old. And then I'm going to call the function 1 year older, pass it my age, and then I'm going to output what that variable is again. So copy, control C, control V that. I'm going to say you are now my age, years old. Alright, so what I got going on here, just to recap before we run it, is I made a variable, set it to 25, and then I'm going to just output what that variable is. And then I'm going to call this function with that variable, so that this value gets passed to this variable, or gets passed to this function, and then this function takes in that value, 25, adds 1 to it, and then outputs what that value is. And then, well, we go out of the function, so we go right back down here now, and then we output what this variable is again. Alright, so let's see what that looks like. If I run that, and let me retry that, adding in all the new lines. New line there, and let me go ahead and get a new line right in there. And let's run that again, and there we go. So we see right here, we output 25 years old. Alright, then we go to this function, or so we pass in the variable 25, or we pass in the value rather, 25. So then 25 is right here, gets added to 1, so now this age equals 26, so that's what we output right here. So that's what you see right there, and then we go out of this function, and then we output the value of this variable again, and it shows it at 25. Because remember, when we passed this value here, we're only passing the value. It only makes a copy of the variable at the time. So makes a copy of the argument, right? So whatever happens to this variable inside here doesn't actually reflect to the actual variable that got passed in. It doesn't actually reflect to it. It only modifies or changes or does anything else to the variable inside here, because it's only the value that's being passed. This is in contrary, though, to passing by reference. So what does pass by reference do? Let me copy this exact function the exact same way, and I'm even going to leave the main function the exact same. The only difference, though, is I'm going to make this variable what's called a reference variable. And in order to do that, I'm just going to add in the ampersand right there, the and symbol, which is right above your 7 key. All right, so I'm going to comment all this out so it doesn't conflict because they have the same name. All right, so now we're going to pass by reference. And notice right here, I have 25, 26, and 25. Let's see what happens when I do a pass by reference function instead. So if I run that, and now I see 25, 26, and then 26. What happened there? So it does the same thing, right? Outputs 25, and then we pass this variable into this function. So our program's now going to look for this function. And I'm like, all right, I see this function here, and I'm going to be taking a variable. Oh, but this is a reference variable. So I'm actually going to find the actual variable of parameter instead of just the value itself. So that means that anything that happens inside of this function now, anything that happens to this variable inside of this function, it's going to actually reflect on the outside variable itself, on the variable that actually got passed to it. So that's why when we add 1 to this variable here, it's actually adding 1 to this variable, which is why once we come out of this function, once we finish it here, we output 26 there, and we get out of this function, well, this variable actually equals 26 now. So that's why when we call it here, it equals 26, and we see 26 right there. So that's all I'm going to get into. Hopefully I made that distinction pretty clear. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments. If you liked the video, make sure to like. If you liked it even more, make sure to subscribe. And as always, I will see you all next time.